So good morning, everybody. I hope you had a good night's sleep or enough sleep. We had wild winds here in the West, interestingly. So many of you have been coming to everything. Some of you, this may be your first time. So we're in the air element now, and we're not leaving the other elements behind. We're bringing them with us. We still have the sense of earth, the solidity of earth, the sense of the vastness and the fluidity of the water element. You can still remember maybe the fire, the warmth. It's always with us from the fire element. And now we are in the last of the physical elements, air. So over these meditations, this is a third of the meditations. We're going to be each day focusing on something slightly different. Yesterday, we focused on the air element with the body. Today, we'll be focusing on the heart and the relational aspect of the air element. Tomorrow, we'll look more at the mind and the imaginal. And then on the last day, we'll bring these together and draw out the equanimizing aspect of the air element. And I learned something while preparing for this, which is that when we say the 5 precepts, the first word that we say is panatipata, ceremony. And I learned that panati means one who breathes from prana. So panati, we're all panatis. We're all ones who breathe. And pata means to strike. So that first precept, we are undertaking not to strike any breathers, any of those who are breathing. And it just struck me as just so extraordinary, you know, given our historical tendency towards violence, that would be the very first thing that you undertake. The training principle, the very first thing you undertake is not to strike, not to harm anything that breathes. And yeah, we can go into a lot more depth with that. And the other thing I was thinking about was this, the elements being called the Mahabhutas, which has a couple of different translations. And one translation is the great magicians, and another one is the great ghosts. And I think it's interesting again with the word, the epistemology of the word, breathing, respiration, inspiration, spirit. So the spirits or the ghosts are things that we worldlings can't see, you know, but they are there. We don't really understand them. They're a bit mysterious. And the magicians are those that help us to do something that feels out of our realm. So with these elements and our reflections on these elements, we are wanting to allow ourselves to drop into a different realm of how we perceive what's going on. And the more that we do that, the more we can become beings that do not harm other beings, because we're seeing life in a very different way, in a way that doesn't need us to defend ourselves from anything. So spirits, the wind cannot be seen, but it moves things. It moves us. It has tremendous power, even though it is mysterious. We don't fully understand it or grasp it. So we will start with the air blessing and the morning puja. And we'll do that in call and response. And if you'd like to hold your feather, if you have a feather, or anything that is a reminder of the air element, then please do so. We immerse ourselves in the air element, allowing its lightness and strength to clear all stagnation and density. We open ourselves to the air element and take in the expansive, spontaneous openness of its nature. We are at home in the air element, suffused in confidence and equanimity, resisting nothing, fearing nothing. I dwell in the air element, and the dark green Buddha Amoghasiddhi, embodying active compassion and the dynamic stillness of complete freedom. Morning puja. The 4 reminders. This human birth is precious, an opportunity to awaken. But this body is impermanent. Ready or not, one day I shall die. So this life I must know as the tiny splash of a raindrop, a thing of beauty that disappears even as it comes into being. The karma I create shapes the course of my life. But however I act, life always has difficulties. No one can control it all. Only the Dharma can free me and others from suffering forever. Therefore, I recall my heart's longing for freedom and resolve to make use of every day and night to realize it. Brahma Viharas. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the great happiness, devoid of suffering. May they dwell in great equanimity, free from craving, aversion, and delusion. We're beginning the meditation with a sense of arriving in our posture. Just noticing how our body is this morning. With a sense of knowing that we are alive. Life is with us. A sense of where we are. Our seat on this little blue planet. Our seat in this community. This community of beings all choosing to practice together this morning. We're all in various different states, but however we are, we've showed up here, we've showed up for each other and our practice. We have a sense of social solidarity. And also to support our confidence, we can tune in with the lineage of our teachers, bringing to mind anybody who, when you think of them, gives you a sense of connection and confidence. Could be a Buddha or a Bodhisattva or an individual. We have this sense of having been given the opportunity to practice the Dharma. There are beings that have inspired us. And then we can come to our body. And as we were saying last night, being at ease and relaxing with the body is already a fundamental step away from our habitual tightening and turning away. So we spend time with the different parts of our body, finding as much ease, opening and softening as we can muster. Having a sense of rooting down in the lower part of our bodies, particularly in the hips, just allowing ourselves to feel supported, relaxing, softening down. Becoming aware of our belly and the upper part of our body rising up towards the vastness of sky. Checking in with our shoulders and jaw. And anywhere you know habitually tends to tighten up in your body. It's bringing loving awareness and an invitation to soften and open. Allowing the eyeballs to be soft, the scalp to find ease. We come into the heart space. And seeing what emotional flavors of feelings or emotions may be present for us this morning. whatever they are, have a sense of opening to them, not judging, just allowing. Whether they are pleasant or unpleasant, or perhaps there's just a sense of neutrality. And we have a sense of our thought world this morning. Any particular trains of thought that grabbing our attention. Maybe just invite our thought world to quieten if it's loud. Just appreciate any stillness that may be there. Just taking a moment to just tune in with our breath. Feeling the in-breath and the out-breath, and the space in between the in-breath and the out-breath. And just feeling how there is movement all over the body associated with the in-breath and the out-breath. And we can begin to consider that it's this movement of the in-breath and the out-breath which is keeping us alive, giving us our aliveness in this moment. And just reflecting that from the day you were born till today, this has been a ceaseless activity. And that each one of us is Panati, one who breathes. And there is a uniqueness to your being. There'll never be another one like you. Can we have a sense of caring for ourselves? A sense of wishing not to harm ourselves. A sense of care for this one who breathes. Perhaps we could get a sense of each breath being a loving gift of life to us. Giving us everything we need. Filling our bodies with oxygen, mixing with carbohydrates, giving us the energy we need to be alive in this world. I can wish this one who breathes well-being, happiness, freedom from suffering. We can also have a sense of those people near to us, those people in the building where we are or around us, nearby, these warm bodies, these warm breathing bodies. Just having a sense of life being with them through this simple act, breathing in and breathing out. And all of those in this virtual community. Going through the same process of taking in the air, taking in oxygen, and releasing what's no longer required. And there are beings near, and there are beings far away, and they're all breathing. There are beings whose cultures and lifestyles we just don't understand, maybe feel alien to us. But they're still breathing ones. We have that sense of how similar we are. Life is precious to us. We want to be happy. And we can also broaden our awareness to the tiny beings, the insects, thousands and thousands of different species. All playing a part. They too are breathing. They too taking in what they need and releasing it. It's continual movement of life. Receiving and releasing. Any birds we might hear this morning? They too are breathing. All the animals, the cows, the sheep, the dogs and the cats, the badgers, foxes, the animals you like and the animals you don't like. All the fish, all the different sea creatures. Everything that lives. And there's many different rates of breathing, but the basic movement is the same. And we can also think about plants, the soil, the microbiomes. All are in a process of moving with life. The oceans and the waves moving, the sun moving, and the forests. Forests are the lungs of the planet. Taking in carbon dioxide, releasing oxygen. In what way are we separate from life? Feeling our movement of breath, sensing the movement of all life around us. Like a bubble, there is air within us, air outside of us, floating in air. And when we pop, we return to the air. There is something, and then there is no thing. So just invite you for a moment to let go of any sense of boundary, any sense of here or there. Just for a moment, try not to locate yourself anywhere. Just feeling into the openness, the vastness. Without knowing. Can there be just a tender responsiveness with no form? Can we be at home with this mystery? This constant companion of our breathing. So I'll read the poem that I read at the end yesterday again. A poem by David White. We love the moment in a seeming stillness, the breath in the body of a loved one sleeping, the highest leaves in the silent wood, a great migration in the sky above, the waters of the earth, the blood in the body, the first soft stir in the silence beneath a strident voice, the internal hands of our mind always searching for touch, thoughts, seeking other thoughts, seeking other minds, the great arrival of form through all our hidden themes. And this breath in this body, able just for a moment to give and to take, to ask and be told, to find and be found, to bless and be blessed, to hold and to be held. We are all a sunlit moment, come from a long darkness. What moves us always comes from what is hidden. What seems to be said so suddenly has lived in the body for a long, long time. Our life, like a breath then, a give and a take, a bridge, a central movement between singing a separate self and learning to be selfless.